Hey everybody, how are you doing? Happy Sunday morning. I'm just going to wait for Melissa to hop on and then I will add her. Don't mind the chewing in the background. My dog is chewing on a bone. Gotta love that. Hey Melissa. All right, let's see here. Approve. I'm going to bring you on. Just waiting for her to join. Okay.
Hi!
Yes.
It worked.
Hey. Yay. Oh my God, awesome. All right. You guys, when I was in Panama with Taylor, Melissa had contacted me and was asking me my experience out there because her son was injured back, what, February?
Yeah.
February of this year. So she saw that I was there and wanted to know my experience. And I absolutely highly recommended it. Unfortunately, they are revamping or changing the protocol. So she's not able to bring her son there until like 2019, which, you know, as a parent, you have every right, to wait, not to wait, or whatever. So I wanted to bring her on because she had a different experience. So I actually haven't had a chance to talk to her. So I'm like curious and I'm like, let's do a live, let's share this with everybody so I could learn about it and you could share your experience.
Okay. Well, I've been searching for a good month. Paul Bush posted a video on one of the spinal cord pages, and that is how I found Dr. Spiel. I probably called around the United States, probably 20 different places, talked to the staff there, did research, and not one of them, too nervous. I mean, it's a scary thing, especially when you're talking of your child. Right away, talking to Dr. Spiel, it was, I don't know, that feeling, that motherly feeling that this is it. This is where we're going. This is what we're doing. They do a little different process. Instead of stem cells, they take the secretions out of the stem cells, which is your exosomes. Then they put that in, I think basically the same way they did at Panama, through an IV, and then they went in and injected it in his L1 and L2. What the exosomes they believe do is because your spinal cord, you're full of stem cells, but where the damage area is, it's kind of like they're asleep. They don't know what to do. They're just asleep. The exosomes go up, and the way the doctor described it is they just give your own stem cells a bath and a shot of coffee and tell them to get busy working. Wake them up, and so they're in them. They're working.
Can you tell them what happened to your son?
It was a snow day from school, and him and two of his friends decided to go over to my family's house to ride the four-wheeler, and they were pulling a tube in the snow, and they just got a little too close to a pine tree that was probably only 5 feet tall, not a very big, very small one. Tommy was sitting backwards in the tube, and he collided straight with it, and it pushed his vertebrae in and compressed his spinal cord.
So his cord was not severed.
Nope, just compressed. And the
Okay.
crazy thing is, we have learned through all of this, because they need a lot of imaging and all of that before you get this done. We found that our hospital never did an MRI of Tommy's spinal cord through this whole process. The only person that has ever seen Tommy's spinal cord was the surgeon. And the surgeon is the positive one. From right after surgery, he predicted Tommy to recover, but he said it's going to take 5 to 6 years. He predicts Tommy to walk in braces in 14 months. He's still, every time we go see him, he's completely positive. Tommy's spinal cord doctor, on the other hand, is not. She all is about statistics and data, and does not think Tommy will ever get out of the chair. We never understood this. How can you have two doctors be completely so different? Well, I get it now. The spinal cord doctor, she's never even seen his spine. She's never seen his spinal cord. She doesn't know what damage is done in there. Dr. Spiels told us, because we went for an evaluation the day before and met him and sat with him for an hour. He actually drew us a picture of exactly what Tommy's spinal cord looks like and where the damage is. It's almost like he has a big pocket in the middle of his spinal cord from it being compressed, and where everything is kind of shut down and quit working. The goal is the spinal cord doctor here has Tommy still as Asia A complete. His therapists that work with him 2 to 3 times a week say he's incomplete, and they have bumped him to Asia B. Well, the Dr. Spiel, after meeting with Tommy and working with him after he did the injections, came out and he says your son is 100% incomplete. The goal is that all the nerves, all the new pathways will just keep going down the sides of his spinal cord. That's the goal. Yeah.
Now, are you guys still with that doctor that doesn't believe in, doesn't believe in your son? Are you still with her?
My husband says, because Wednesday, we went and saw her Tuesday. Was the first time I told her we were leaving this week to have it done. She didn't say much in the office, but she called me Wednesday. She was so negative. She said, I didn't want to say this in front of Tommy, but I'm just going to flat out tell you, nothing you will ever do will ever get your son to walk again. You're wasting your money. This place is a fraud. I'm so upset over this. She said, if it would have been done within 24 hours of his accident, it would have worked. Well, I was immediately furious, because why aren't the doctors telling their patients, telling them, go get this done? It will give you.
You were like giving me, like,
things.
I almost like I had to hold back the tears right now. I'm so angry at doctors and giving up on our children, and even other, I'm not even saying just children out there, but other people that this happens to out there. And I think the biggest problem is that people believe what the doctors tell them.
Yep.
They, if you get this diagnosis and they're like, you're never going to walk again, it's never going to happen. Well, guess what? Luckily, Melissa, you are strong enough in your mindset that you're like, no, like, you're going to continue to push forward and still search for your son to get him on his feet again and walking again. And that right there is what you need, is a good team behind you. And how dare that doctor, like, honest to God, it happened to us. And so I can relate with you completely. It happened to us twice. And I refuse any doctor like that is in our life that tells us that she's not going to walk again. We're done. I get rid of them and I find a new team. And I will search for doctors that will believe in us, because our doctor was like the same thing, where I asked them about stem cells and stuff, and they're like, no way. Like, I wouldn't do it. Like, there's not much research to it. Like, I would wait 5 years, for there to be more research to be done. I'm like, 5 years? Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
No.
And the most important thing is to get it done as soon as possible. Why are they wanting everybody to wait? There's no risk. There's no risk. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. I mean, I believe it or not, I see on the spinal cord page so many people that are in Taylor and Tommy's position that are scared of it, that are not for it. There's no risk factor. You're going to get a headache. You might get a little infection and a fever. Besides that, there's no risk. And it's just money. That's the way it's just money. It's just money. Or, if it doesn't work, it's just money.
Right. And, people out there that are like, oh, money. I'm like, okay, but really, let me ask you, how much money are you spending on medication? How much money are you spending on therapy appointments and like honestly, if you guys don't have the funds to do this, I am begging you, start a GoFundMe page. I mean, I'm not making any money off of that. I'm just saying, like, there are your church, your schools, reach out. The problem behind all of this is everybody is afraid to share their story because they're afraid of being judged and criticized. That's why people hide behind the camera, don't go on Facebook, don't go on social media, don't share their story. And if it wasn't for me sharing Taylor's story from day one, we would not, I don't know if we really would have had the opportunity, that much help, if it wasn't for us speaking out. And it's okay, because believe it or not, the people that are there, like supporting you behind your back, cheering you on, wanting to see Tommy walk again and Taylor walk again, those are the ones that we want in our life. The people that are like talking behind our back or criticizing stem cell, or um, someone said something negative about me having fundraisers, and she's like, good luck with that, you know, whatever. And I was just like, really? Like, how, I don't know. It just so, it breaks my heart that I'm like, are you that like negative and like so angry at life that, you know, people are trying to help us and you're going to criticize us for trying?
Yeah, it's
I mean, I'm so happy that you said yes to hopping on live to me today, because I wanted people to see that, you know, we went to Panama, but you went to New Jersey, correct?
yes, Stem Cell Center
So,
of NJ.
okay. And yours, did you meet other people out there besides spinal cord injury?
No, when we went in, it was just us. Went into the doctor, sat, talked to him for an hour. Then when we got to the surgery center, it was boom, boom, done, over with. So there was not a lot of people, you know. There was people coming in, but none of them were in a wheelchair. So none of them were where Tommy is right now. Um, so, but Tommy has a hard time. I don't know if it's because it's still new for him. Tommy still has a hard time grasping this. So for him, he's not ready to reach out to others in his situation. That it's
Sorry,
probably
my
almost
God.
better. So I don't know. But the fundraiser thing, people definitely, I mean, we are blessed to live in a small little community. And between me and Tom's family in our community and the school, they raised us a huge chunk of money that now Tommy can go back 3 or 4 times for treatments. I mean,
That's amazing.
you know, but Tom and I we'd sell our house. We would, I mean, if anybody says you have a small little chance this will help, we're doing it. We're doing it.
You know, even if, let me ask them, like, even if, you know, maybe one, two, three times, like you heard that, you know, he wouldn't walk again, but in your gut instinct and Tommy's will and fight, you know, the drive to like walk again and even get improvement, wouldn't you still just go for it? Wouldn't you still just try it? Like,
Absolutely.
I, I
Absolutely.
mean, I don't know. I've just been following my gut instinct. And I remember the day that Taylor got hurt, and I went to the ER. I didn't know what happened to her. They didn't tell me. They did. I mean, I knew she fell off her horse, but um, they didn't tell me the extent of it because they wanted me to get to the hospital safe. And when I got there, they wouldn't let me see her for like 45 minutes, and I was freaking out because then they had brought in the people, I forgot what it's called, the people that, like, you know, if you have a death in the family or something like that, they come and console you. So
Oh,
they grabbed them, and they were asking me, you know, did you bring anybody with you? And I'm going, what do you mean? I'm Taylor's mom. Like, no, I'm a single mom. Like, no, I'm here by myself. And they were walking me back this long, quiet hallway. And I was like, okay, hold up. Let me ask you something. Did my daughter die? And they're like, no. Thank you, clergy. Um, and it scared the living daylights out of me what they did. And then finally, after, long story short, it was taking too long, so I ended up, they wouldn't let me see her, and I think it's because they were doing an MRI and all of that. Well, anyways, I busted through the doors of the ER room, and they were just about to shut the curtain on me, and I was like, no, that's my kid, I'm going in there. And I saw her, and she was on a stretcher in the headgear, strapped up, and I was like, oh my God, like, what happened? And sorry, my dog is chewing on a bone. And it's driving me crazy. Okay. So, and I was like, I freaked out. Literally, I was like, I didn't even know what to say. I didn't, I didn't know what happened. So, she was just like, I was like, I kind of like put my arms up and I was like shaking and some tears started coming down and I was like, what the hell? And Taylor's like, oh my God, mom. And here she is like in a headgear and she can't really, she can't turn her head or anything like that. But she's like, mom, oh my God, seriously, I'm going to be fine. And she's like, mom, seriously, just stop. And she's consoling me. Here's my kid who's injured and she's consoling me and everybody around her, the doctors, like everybody. And she said, after we were, after it was just her and I, she's like, mom, seriously, I'm going to walk again and I'm going to ride again. Don't worry. And I was like, that strength that she gave me, like, was so powerful right there that no matter what the doctors told me after that moment, it didn't
Didn't listen.
matter
Yep.
because it was the strength that she gave to me. And I've had that for the past 2 years.
It's
Um,
kids are very I don't know. Kids are resilient, aren't they? They're stronger than we are.
it's different, I think, if we were like in our 50s, and we got injured. I mean, the likelihood of us walking again is slimmer. I
Yeah.
still would take the chance, definitely. But it's still, it whatever. It doesn't matter. I think I believe it's like up to you. It's up to us. It's in our mind. It's the will, the drive. Now, with Tommy's treatment there in New Jersey, it was just a one-time thing, like you went in and like a day procedure and then he went home?
Yeah, we went back to the hotel, and the younger you are, they say the worse your chance of a spinal headache. But the best way to help prevent spinal headache from getting too bad is to lay completely flat, which in the bed. So as soon as Tommy got done, they had him laying at an angle where his head was down for 45 minutes after the procedure. Then we took him back to the hotel, and he stayed in the hotel laying down asleep all day, 24 hours. We didn't let him get up. He ate in bed, went back to sleep. We did maybe a half hour of TV every couple hours. That's it. Tommy didn't get a headache at all. He felt great. Last night when we got home, he started playing some video games and he started getting a little headache. So his butt's in bed today. We're just trying to keep that at bay. So yeah, he wanted us to wait a good 24 hours before we could travel back home because we're about 7 hours from New Jersey.
Okay.
The doctor, actually, we have his personal cell phone number. My husband actually talked to him last night while he was cooking dinner with his family. That gives you the most hope ever, having a doctor that believes in something so much. It's unbelievable. I mean, he flat out was joking with Tommy, and he said, you better start walking because it'll make you look good, and it's going to make me look real good. I mean, he wants what we want. These
I love
doctors
that.
want
Oh my
what we
God.
want. They believe in this stuff so much. They want it to work. Like, that is their goal. That's what they've put all this hard work and all this time. They want it to work. People think, oh, they just want your money. No, they don't. They want it to work. They definitely want it to work. And
Exactly. Exactly.
my goal is to be able to reach out to people that are very new. Hey, stop. That are very new from the accident and get them to do this. A friend of mine who's in the medical field reached out to me, two of them, about 6-7 days after Tommy's accident. I didn't really research
My
it.
dog is like my dog's hearing your
nuts.
dog and he's like trying to get the phone.
But when you're in that situation, emotionally, you can't handle it. As parents, Tom and I couldn't handle it. We couldn't research anything on the internet. We couldn't think of anything. I mean, your whole life is crashing down on you. That emotionally, we couldn't handle doing any investigating and looking into stem cells and learning about it. I went to Tommy's spinal cord doctor and I asked her about it. no, 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 don't do it. Oh my gosh, it made somebody go blind, and said horror stories, which scared us. So we totally stared away from it. My friends kind of knew emotionally that we weren't ready to even discuss this, so they backed off. Then 5 months, when Tommy's 5 months accident, after his accident hit, I was like, oh my gosh, we have to do something. And I started researching. I talked to you. I've talked to others. My girlfriend, she works for Merck. So she is involved in the whole science part, research, developing new things. She was in on it. She was talking to doctors, emailing. Um, I just knew we had to get this done as soon as possible to get things started for him.
What I loved about your message when I sent you a message and I said, would you be willing, when I found out that you went to New Jersey and I was like, hey, would you mind doing a live with me? And you were like, oh my God, yes, if I could help other parents out there, yes. And I was like yes, this is a mom I want to be friends with. This is a mom who won't give up. She believes, she'll fight no matter what. And, the one thing that I'm happy about with, and this is something that maybe you do the New Jersey thing because I'm so glad that you got it in like right away, like the sooner the better. And the thing, there's a couple people on here who don't know the difference between New Jersey and Panama. And Panama, we were there for 4 weeks. And there was a lot of stem cells and injections like every other day. And yes, as soon as the injections were done, and the injections, when they're done in the spinal cord, you have to go lay down flat for 4 hours, no pillow, nothing. But when they're done through an IV, there's no need to go lay down. I mean, we saw kids there for autism, Lyme's disease, fibromyalgia, MS. I mean, there were so many people that we met in the month that we were there, and they were just IV and they were able to move around and go do what they want and enjoy the day. But spinal cord injury was a little bit more tricky and a little bit, you have to lay down after they do the intrathecal. And there's a lot more cells. So obviously, yes, the cost was very different. I mean, yours was what, around 10,000?
Yeah, total, I think we paid 12,500 for, because
Okay.
you
Yeah,
pay for
ours,
the procedure,
was like,
yeah, and then you have to pay for the surgery room on top of it.
yeah. Yeah, and ours was like, yes, ours was more expensive. I mean, they don't, honestly, after talking to them out there and hearing what other people are paying for 1 week treatment compared to like a whole month, ours was like $39,000. We had to pay for the airfare to get down there. Our hotel is covered with them, but like your food and your cost for the whole month, that's on you. You did get free breakfast, which was amazing. It wasn't just the continental breakfast. I mean, it was like incredible breakfast. So, this is the difference between the two, but I am not going for one or the other. I mean, I am so happy that you guys got in right away and did not have to wait until 2019. And the one thing that I did learn is it's not a one-time thing. Like unfortunately, we have to go back and get it done. But when did he have it done?
Friday.
Okay.
So just two.
All right. And then they tell you what,
Saturday.
like up to 6 months, he could see something?
Yeah, it's all about gains. So as long as he's making gains, you hold off. And he said everybody is so incredibly different. He can't tell, how soon we're going to have it done. He can't tell you what Tommy's going to get back. He said, right. 100% you're going to get gains. 100%. No doubt something's going to happen. We don't know what. We don't know how big or small. But you as a mother knows, anybody with a spinal cord injury knows, small is huge. Small is huge. Getting a little bit of muscle strength back in your core is huge. All of it is huge. So to me, it's a no-brainer. I can't wait for them to, which they will. Someday they will offer it in a hospital. When the injury happens, you will get injected, and a month later, the recovery, spinal cord injury patients are going to, they're not going to be around forever. They're going to heal you. You're not going to be a spinal cord injury patient. You're not. You're going to be healed. There's no doubt in my mind. In the future, they're going to figure this out 100%. But
when they find the right doctors that are willing to push.
sorry, stupid dogs.
It's okay. That's the life of, moms of dogs. When the doctors, the doctors that actually truly believe in that and what we believe in, like that's what there's a bunch of them out there, and I'm so grateful for that. And I mean, when you first get injured, you have to remember, there's a lot of inflammation. So it's like going in for surgery or anything like that. The body has to heal. But yes, I do believe that they need to get this. I don't know what happened. They have to get it in there as soon as possible. What level was what level is he again?
He's T6, T7.
Okay, yeah, Taylor's T5 and T6. Well,
he has
I
his belly button working now. So like all his abs work to his belly button. Which that was another thing. She still has him at complete. Look how he's to his belly button. What is that, T10? So he's got down to at least T10 already working.
Yeah, Taylor was marked complete injury in the very beginning when she, I hate that Asia test. Let me tell you, my God. I'm sorry. Somebody just gets hurt and then a week or two later, you're doing a test on them to see if they could feel anything. And then, they don't feel anything. So then they're marked, a complete injury. And then what happened with us, and I know it was different with you, but what happened with us, she was marked a complete injury, Asia A, and then she didn't have therapy on her legs at all for 6 months. Nothing. They taught my daughter how to live in a wheelchair for the rest of her life. And I was like, why? So I started asking questions, and you as parents have to advocate. So we're coming on live to talk to you guys about what we did with stem cell, but we want to tell you that you need to take matters in your own hands and question the doctors and research and connect with other parents out there who are willing to help you and tell you that just because they get a diagnosis does not mean that's it. It's not set in stone. You got to fight. You got to continue. You got to keep pushing forward.
Yeah.
I know somebody asked me on here, what has Taylor noticed so far? So her treatment finished July 27th. And one thing that I want to share with you guys, and I don't know if you heard this, Melissa, but when stem cells, there's a doctor out there who tagged stem cells, and she actually said that what they noticed is when they inject the stem cells into the body, that they immediately go right to the lungs first. And then after that, they go through the body wherever it needs healing. So it makes total sense because 2 weeks after Taylor's, she was there during the process and she got her deep breathing back. So Taylor's a T5, which is right by the chest. She had nothing there down. And she started coughing, choking on some water. And all of a sudden she took this deep breath in and she was like, she's like, oh my God, Mom. Wow. I could breathe. And she was like, I didn't even realize I didn't have that, for 2 years. But her cough got stronger, her breath got stronger, her sneeze got stronger, and her core is definitely a lot stronger. She's able to jog more, and she actually loped a little bit on her horse. So that was incredible too. So again, this is after a month of being there. So I cannot wait to, maybe we should a month or two down the road, hop on and do another live and update Tommy's progress and see how he's doing and stuff. And, again, even the little things like that.
That's huge. It's huge. And I don't think people that don't have the spinal cord injury, they don't realize. I keep telling everybody, something small is like a mile. It's huge.
when I was saying like, oh, her breath, I was like saying like small victories, and everybody's like, no, that's like huge victories. Like the
Yes.
doctors, I mean, even the doctors there were like crying. Like the anesthesiologist was crying. She was hugging. That's their passion. They want to heal you. They
Yep.
want to get you better. And that's the doctors that you need to be surrounded around,
Yep.
are people like that. And it's not about the money. It's not. They truly, truly are investing their time in healing people. They want to see your son walk again.
Yep. Absolutely. Well, and I've learned too through this whole process of researching and the Midland, which is all of us, we don't have, um, they're not for new. They're not, they don't jump on the new things. I feel like you have to go to the East or West Coast to get the new stuff that's happening. All the new medicine, they're the ones that are advocating for it. They're the ones pushing it. They're the ones. So I feel like with where we are in Ohio, all the doctors are conventional doctors, and they're stuck in their old ways. They're not ready to jump on all this new integrative medicine and all of that. And I want people to realize that you're probably going to have to travel to go wherever you need to go to get this done, but it's so worth it. I mean, heck, you guys were how far away from home?
Oh my, 5.5 hours, and I mean, flight, not, but I mean, hey, we were there for a month. I was gone from my boys, from my dogs for 30 days. I mean,
Yeah.
hey, when it's for your kid and it's for health, I came back home and someone said, oh, how was your vacation? And I was like, how's my what?
Yeah, you're like, what
You know,
vacation?
I'm like, yeah, my daughter's like, yeah, throwing up all over my mom. And yeah, that was a vacation. I
Yeah.
mean, again, yes, the headaches were bad. I won't lie. For the month treatment, I mean, your son, he probably didn't experience as many of that severe migraine spinal
Yeah.
headache. Um, but when you're there, again, everybody's different and stuff, and some experience, some don't, but they're bad. They're bad when you're in a room. But you know what? It's worth it.
Yep.
It's worth it if it's going to give you a chance again. So, um, did they talk to you about a special diet for him now? Did they say anything like what to stay away from?
They just, the doctor is he's very health conscious himself, Dr. Spiel. I mean, you could tell by looking at him. Green leafy vegetables, which my son is the most pickiest child you will ever meet in your life. He has to smell everything before he puts it in his mouth. I think the only green thing the boy eats is lettuce. So we found a supplement, which is a powder, and it's all organic leafy green. So he has to drink. It's disgusting, but it's like you either eat it or you drink it. So he's been drinking that. Water, 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 water.
Yep.
Tommy's not too bad. I mean, he eats pretty much steak and chicken almost every day. So that's pretty much all we can get him to eat. So the diet part for him isn't too bad. It's just getting those vegetables in with him. We also are renting, I'm going to say it wrong, those chambers, those oxygen chambers, hibernated
Yeah.
or hyperbaric. Is that it? Hyperbaric.
Yeah, I
Um,
think so.
I guess those are really, really good too after you get a stem cell treatment done. So we're running one of those for a good month just for him to get that pure oxygen in his system, keep that going. I don't know anything they recommend we're doing. It'll probably same with you
If you have
guys.
that, if you have that link, send it to me, because that would be, I would totally be for that too,
Okay.
and I would do that too. Thank
Yeah,
God for credit cards. Man.
I know. I know. Nobody can understand how expensive. When you have a disability, everything is triple the price. Everything. It's really sad. Really sad.
I just I advocate good health because, you know, if they're walking and talking and being able to feed themselves up, why would you take advantage of your health and putting poor quality food and eating fast food and McDonald's and, you know, and all that stuff in your body when it's not even real food? I'm like, you don't even realize what you're doing to your body. Now, especially when you have an injury, it's so important to, you know, eat more leafy greens and fruits and veggies and lean meats and stuff and stay away from fast food because their body is in recovery mode.
Yeah.
And if we basically this I'm going to share this with you because I thought this was incredible. I heard this on a stem cell podcast. She said, take stem cells as a seed. It is basically a seed and your body is the garden. So, do you want to plant that seed into sand or do you want to plant that seed into like a rich, moist soil and let that grow? Like, which one would you want? And that's how you look at it with your eating habits is, you know, are you going to plant it in sand or that rich, nourished soil? So that's what you got to keep telling everybody about that. It's very, very important. You know, you hear people having stem cells and going home and nothing happening. Well, I want to question them. What did you do when you got home?
Yeah.
Did you do physical therapy? Did you try to stand up as much as possible? Did you lift weights? Did you do what you could, or did you just go home and sit and wait for this to blossom and hope that something was going to happen? Because it's not that way. You have to go home and you have to eat right and you have to fight like hell for the next 6 months. That's what we
Yep.
were told.
Yep. I agree 100%. You have to put in the
Well,
work.
exactly. It is not something that you just go and spend a lot of money on. Like they said, listen, Taylor, you guys spent a lot of money to get here to do our job. You paid us to do our job. We did our job. Now you need to go home, honey, and you need to do your job.
Yeah.
And that's what everybody who gets stem cells needs to understand. You cannot just go home and sit in your chair or your bed and fingers crossed and toes crossed and hope that something's going to happen, because it's not. You need to get back into physical therapy. You need to do what you can at home and stand up and do as much as you can. The part has to be on you too.
Yeah. I agree. I totally
All right.
agree.
Well, I know we've been on for, I don't know, I think what, 40 minutes now, but you know, you guys, if anybody has any questions, just drop them in the comments below. Melissa and I will get back to you. We just wanted to really come on live and share with you our experience. I was in Panama, she was in New Jersey. I was there for a month and hers was a
One day.
one day treatment. So again, she wanted to try to go to Panama, but because nothing's available until like mid 2019, she felt in her heart and her gut she needed to get something done right away. And I agree with her 100%. And I'm so glad that she found a place to do it. And we would just want to come on live and share our stories with you. And if you guys know anybody that is injured or spinal cord injury or anything like that, please share this video with them. Let them watch this, hear our testimony. We went through this and we're going through it. And I will continue to update our progress through YouTube and my Facebook and stuff. But Melissa, you know, I'll check in with you and share your stuff and
Perfect.
I'll share your stuff. I want as many people out there to know about this stuff and not to be afraid of it, because there's nothing to be afraid of.
I agree. 100% I agree.
Anything else that you want to add to them before we hop off?
No, hopefully when we get some gains, you'll be hearing from me again.
Awesome.
So, yeah,
And just,
thank you.
you know what? I'm just so proud of you that you believe in your son that much and
Yes.
you didn't listen to your doctor and you pushed forward and went through with your gut instinct and you went for it. And that is what makes a big difference, because a lot of the things that I saw out in Panama, connecting with all the parents out there, not just spinal cord injury, but all the MS and Lyme's and all that stuff and autism, is the doctors in the States gave up on them or just kept giving them a prescription and saying, try this med, try this med, try this med. And they got sick and tired of it. So
Yep.
basically, to me, I believe that stem cell is giving hope to the people who have lost it, they're hopeless. Like truly, there is a possibility for them here.
Yep, absolutely.
All
Well,
right. Well,
thank
thank you so
you.
much for staying on
Thanks.
with me. And I'm so glad like we didn't get a chance to connect like before just talking privately, but so good to see your face and meet
You too.
you. And we will definitely keep in touch.
Okay, thank you. All right, bye.
Tell Tommy I said hi.
Okay, bye.
Have a good day.
You too.
Bye.